California.
So we're recording now. Just to let y'all know that.
Cool.
We just got you. But yeah, we're from the Bay Area. But to be honest, it was really cool going to this into your guys' states and just bro, the people were so cool there. You know what I mean? And I don't know, we're just one of those bands that we're not really tripping about we just kind of are entertainers. So we like going to these different spots and just entertaining.
And we never been to your area, neck of the woods, and we thought it was super fun.
The farthest I've ever been to the West is Utah. That's as far as I've been.
That's far.
Nice, yeah,
that's far.
Yeah, it was in the summertime, so I didn't get to experience all the snow part.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So which one is Nick?
I'm Nick right here.
Okay, y'all kind of froze for a second.
Oh, no worries. Sorry.
But,
y'all good now? Which one?
Sure. I have Brett up here because Brett is more knowledgeable about sports. But
you want to switch spots?
No, I'm sure.
Nick, so you're in the middle?
We're playing hot potato.
Yeah, that's Nick.
Okay. All right, so which one is y'all's favorite sport?
Favorite sport? Baseball or football?
Now that I'm older, dude, honestly, I played lacrosse, and so big laxer, so lax for me, but obviously that's not a majorly watched sport. It's gonna have to be football for me, but it's European or Argentinian football, so soccer.
Right.
And just a lot of pride this year. A lot of pride. My whole family.
So I have to ask, even though you are from Argentina, who is your favorite? Who's your all-time favorite player?
Well, I think it's gonna have to be the obvious one. So, first of all, my grandfather Manuel Sanchez, and then obviously, and I grew up with photos of him on the walls of my parents' place in Argentina. So that was really I'd always see them, and he was hella old when I met him. So it was just as a kid, I was like, this was you, what? So him,
Granddad.
Maradona, obviously, and Messi. And I say that because to the people of Argentina, it's not just about the player. It's what that represents. It's their strongest foot into the world outside of Argentina is their soccer team, their football team. So it's a prideful thing. It's what they represent.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. It's always lovely to see that. When did you actually get over here then?
When I was 5. I moved over here very young. Okay. I was 5 years old.
Okay, that's always cool though. Congratulations on getting over here.
Cheers, yeah, man. Stoked to be here.
I didn't catch the guy's name for the sports. What was your name?
Alway or Sanchez?
Yeah, everyone calls me Sanchez.
Okay.
Culturally out there, and it's it kind of represented.
It's easy. Shit. It's a nickname.
So how many World Cups were you able to watch in your lifetime?
Bro, I've watched 4 World Cups in great detail, and I've seen probably 6.
Well, you're about to see another one in 4 years, huh?
I know.
Here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Ooh.
Dude, they haven't announced where the next one's gonna be though, right? The bid's still out there.
I believe that they're saying that USA, Canada, and Mexico are hosting the next World Cup for the men.
No way, wow. Really?
Yeah. Supposedly, there's a couple of NFL stadiums that want to host a couple games, and my only thing is from like Quinn said, they play all on regular ground for soccer.
No turf.
Exactly, no turf. We got all these guys that get hurt with the turf and everything. So my only thing is the NFL's got to change the turf to regular field so the soccer players don't get hurt playing in the World Cup.
Yep.
That's the main thing. So
that's
kind of interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So if that happens, players won't get hurt as much. More revenue come in. So that's what the NFL, I think, honestly needs to do, is just push for regular gas.
That's interesting. That's a point I've never thought about.
This is kind of weird, but I saw this article, and it was talking about how AstroTurf is giving people cancer because, a lot of those things are old tires and shit, it's recycled old tires. Mm-hmm. So a couple people have been getting cancer, and it's now this new thing. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I have never heard that. I actually will look into that. That's really crazy. That's actually really crazy. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that turf is ground up tire. So when you get tackled, it gets all up in your socks and your pads and aggravating.
I don't know.
Bro,
Yeah.
you unwittingly swallow it when you're in that environment without even know. The pieces are so fucking small, and just rubbing against it, like what gets released into the air and shit. Yeah,
like sand between your toes.
Kind of goes to your skin cells.
Or you get fucking scraped, like you fall and you
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So,
staph infection is a thing, and it's only a thing on turf fields. It's not a thing on regular grass fields.
Yeah, it's heinous.
You know, that's like in schools when like you're in high school, it's staph infection's a huge thing on like AstroTurf fields. You know, I've never looked into it for the NFL, but I have heard of that for high schools.
Right. So I want to ask. I read something on y'all's page that y'all shared the stage with Hobo Johnson.
Yeah. This year.
How did that go?
Well, all right. So I met Hobo Johnson. This is pretty interesting. He used to do these poetry circles. Like in SF, you go to open mics, or open mics, and there's like these circles of people, and you go in and play guitar, or like, play a song, or maybe you do like all sorts of shit. People acted out scenes and did all this stuff. So he used to go to those. So kind of like heard of him through those circles and shit. And then I'm trying to think. I met him right when he kind of like blew up after Peach Scone at this venue called Bottom of the Hill. And we just kind of, hit it off. I asked if he needed help like loading out shit. Just kind of sitting there like mind blown at all this shit that had happened.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I have footage of like the first show that it was like his first real show where people were like just his aura and all that shit had like hit. But yeah, we've kept in touch and gone to his little Sacramento shows at like this art apartment complex. And I don't know, like just basically he's been really cool, man. It comes from similar circles. I was sleeping in my car for a tiny bit and shit, and he has this really good album, if you dig, that he recorded out of this car he lived in. And I just related to that. He worked at the nonprofit for homeless kids. I worked at the nonprofit for homeless kids. And yeah, so he just like has been a kind of little bit of a mentor, and he's in the Northern California. So I don't know, just kind of the things linked together, the pieces linked together. He's a cool dude. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
I really like him a lot.
He hit us up like a week before the show.
Yeah, I asked him like, yo, can we get on? And then I'm like, whatever, because little piece of information that's kind of interesting, like he's like introverted, you know what I mean? Like we'll talk every couple weeks, and he's a true artist that is like a living artist, you know what I mean? Like in an intense dude, and he's really dope. And but yeah, so I don't hear from him much, and when I do, it's really cool. Like he'll go to like little open mics and practice his shit, kind of like Louis C.K. back in the day would go to little things and practice his stuff. Same type of deal. And yeah, now he lives a little bit closer to us. He moved to Berkeley, and am I missing anything?
Yeah, so like basically like we got hit up like a week before the show, and he's like, yeah, you guys should open. And so we jumped up there. It was in San Francisco, so close by to us, and we just kind of like cruised over there. We're like, oh, it'll just be like a fun night, we'll hang out, because we've hung out with him before. We've done the art shows with his band when he had the full band. We met him all in Sacramento.
Did videos with all his old members
did some videos with the other members of the band, so we kind of knew the circle type thing. And then what was I saying? So we went in there pretty homey type situation. Played the show, dude, and we were kind of like expecting, I don't know, a good turnout, but like it was completely sold out,
and it was like pouring rain.
Yeah,
it was like pouring rain. Doors didn't open till like 8 p.m. or something, and we got there at like 6, and there was already people waiting outside
in the rain, just
in the
like
rain, like
solid fans, bro.
people,
Right.
Like it was like just lying around the block, just pouring rain, and it was like honestly felt bad for the people.
Yeah,
they were just all so stoked.
Just his music is like, he's got this new shit out that I really like. I think his direction is cool.
Yeah, and his fans are just like obsessed. They go like really hard. So it was cool to see that.
iHeart fans at that one, a couple of diehards.
Yeah.
So what does everybody play?
I sing and I play rhythm guitar, and then
I play bass.
I play guitar,
drummer,
and I play drums.
Okay.
Fly back here.
He's a man of action, not many words.
Yeah,
and then we all sing on the album too in different capacities.
A lot of good.
I actually got a couple questions for like some of the albums and everything too, but before that, Was there any other instruments that y'all played growing up besides the ones y'all play now?
Nah, recorder.
My mother was the piano teacher for like 30 years, so she tried, and after a year, she's like, "All right, you're playing drums now."
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
I played this for a tiny bit, but
Yeah, back in the day, like grade school, I played the saxophone, so that was about it.
that's a great. Hey, Hobo plays saxophone. He's actually a really good saxophone player. Pretty interesting enough.
Did you play any instruments?
I played soccer.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I love like
It was either we had three boys. We don't have any time for instruments and band if we are all going to the soccer practices and games in different cities.
Yeah.
So it's just nuts down here. It's more sports oriented. Besides in New Orleans, New Orleans is that place for artists, but everywhere else is more sports down here.
Yeah. I figure that, and I mean, but that's like another religion, just like music. It's like you spend all your time practicing and perfecting a thing. You know, like it's the same concept.
It's a life venture.
I have more respect for y'all because I see y'all's hands and I'll see like different things, like your voice is hoarse and almost every other weekend. Like, oh, dude, nah, that's a lot of stuff that I could not do. That's
sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Couldn't do it.
Bullet points.
You guys have any gator stories? We were like, me and Brett were hunting down, like trying to find some gators in New Orleans and shit. That when we found like one, but it, is I forget what they call it when they're sleeping in the basking. I know they bask for like 18 hours of the day and shit. I found that kind of interesting, but
yeah. So me and him actually, we met back in 2013, and
yeah,
we've been homies like ever since. But
Yep.
as of right now, he lives 30 minutes away from where I do. So I came here, it was last minute thing. So we got to set up here and
coming down, bro.
Yeah, so I met him like that, but so I used to clean pools back in the day. And going like, so which way did y'all come from, like into Louisiana? Did y'all come from
we came in from Texas, so we went then the Panhandle into Florida.
Okay, so you
hopped around
Florida swamps and everything.
Yeah, that was dope.
So there's a couple neighborhoods back there. So driving the back ways, I stopped at a stop sign. There was, sure enough, there's a gator just sitting on the side of the canal, just hanging out, chilling.
Damn.
What was that? We saw this big one. I was like going around putting up signs. I don't know if you know about like how we'll go around and do grassroots campaigns with signs that say like the happy Spotify and use like the old signs, politicians left or whatever that fell over, all those like old signs. But anyways, like I'm looking on Facebook in the town we're in, big ass gator, dude, right on the sidewalk, like fucking terrifying looking.
Like it owns the place.
Oh, yeah, it's just.
I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'm not putting up signs in this fucking city. That was
if you really want to learn something about so y'all know about Katrina.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so do y'all know about Jazzland and Six Flags?
No.
Six Flags? So who has Netflix out of the group?
Oh, yeah. We love that shit.
Okay, so I think it's on Netflix.
I think it is.
It's called, I don't know what it is, but if you look it up, it's called Clothes for the Storm. It's all about the creation of Jazzland and Six Flags, which is the amusement park y'all drove past in the east that y'all saw like the
abandoned amusement park on the side of the road.
Yeah.
That's
Six Flags. So what happened was it opened up in like 2005, I believe, and then opened in 2000, and then Katrina hit in 2005, and they shut down for the week of the storm, and they never got to go back because of how bad it was. It flooded the entire park. The entire park got flooded. All of New Orleans East got flooded. The levees broke.
Yeah.
And as of right now, it is just sitting in the east as an abandoned amusement park.
Damn,
that's crazy.
Does the government
help
any of the Katrina things? Like, what do you guys think about Hurricane Katrina as far as like? I know that a lot of those parts are still really, decrepit and all fucked up, and they're living hard over there. I'm wondering, like, you guys kind of feel like the government hasn't done shit for the people.
They kind of approached that topic in that documentary I was talking about.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out.
I give them 2 thumbs down.
Yeah,
It's not. You would think that they would care for the history and the citizens after the devastation. They cared about the money.
So there's another documentary type thing on Apple TV called I'm trying to remember what the name is, but it's related to the hurricane and one of the hospitals that got flooded and abandoned.
Yes.
Do you remember the name? Is
I
it
don't.
Tulane?
It wasn't Tulane, but
Charity.
Charity.
It's called. I think it was called Charity Hospital. And after the storm, it got flooded out. People were left there to basically die at a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just left people in the beds. Everyone just left them, and they just died.
There's a couple documentaries y'all can look up and to learn the stuff about that.
Yeah.
I would like to see the other side because it's like we don't live in that place, so what we get is filtered, right?
Yeah,
it's not we don't get a firsthand account.
Yeah, we know
and
it's not
local
real.
news from your area. We get whatever the fuck everyone's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
No, not our neighbor, New Orleans. How we walked up. We rented out this Airbnb. It was super funny, and we go in the Airbnb, and it's like townhouses, and we go up and there's all these people smoking blunts and they're like, "Are you guys traffickers?" That's the first thing they say. Like classic New Orleans crazy shit, dude. Like that shit was wild.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of girls. Like, granted, it did look sketchy on their part. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were just kind of like
bands rolling up,
6 chicks smoking cigs on the deck.
It was hilarious.
We just walked up
we were
and like
shocked. We're like, oh,
like
damn.
just walking up. We didn't do anything. We didn't look at them or anything. We just walk up and walk through the gate. And then there's two apartments, and we were at the top and they're at the bottom. And they're like, "Are you traffickers?" Just like look at us, and they're like they're waiting for them. Like it's like
no. these girls. Oh yeah. A big part of that I miss is that it was a pimp and all in his stable right next door to us.
Oh jeez, that sounds Louisiana.
They were cool.
That was fucked.
Yeah. You know how it is. It's crazy out there. Everyone goes to Bourbon, obviously.
Wow. I don't care to go down there on Bourbon.
Well, one of the best things to do in New Orleans is people watch.
Yeah.
Like just go down there and just sit on a porch, or not a porch, but sit on some steps and just watch the people that go by and see the funny shit. I swear it's never the same. It's the same. It's crazy. That's the hardest thing to do.
How I was putting up.
Oh yeah, so we're like,
crazy.
This was weird because we put up these signs, and so like when we see signs that are like on the side of the road that like fell down, we'll grab them, and so we like Petty came back like middle of the night type thing
with hella signs, to paint.
And one of the signs that like we grab it and flip it over, and it says like my dad needs a kidney, and there was a phone number.
I was just like tripped out. I was like, oh fuck.
It was kind of sketch. It was like really weird.
Maybe a drug
thing. That's some South shit, dude.
I don't know. That's wild. That's all.
Maybe someone actually was looking for a kidney, but it didn't seem. And
Yeah.
then he felt hella bad because maybe it was someone's, kid trying to.
In the South, they don't care about their kidney. So that was a scam. They're coming for your kidney.
Yeah.
It felt like some weird drug code shit, or I don't know. It's just
like kidney.
Bro, they're living. They're wild. They're wild. It was crazy. It was crazy.
It is. It's something out here.
But it's fun. I like that element of chaos out there, and like it's like, I don't know if you guys ever liked that band Blind Melon or heard of them. They were Shannon Hoon. He was a really good artist from like Indiana they lived out there and recorded. But anyways, they're kind of like Nirvana, Sublime-ish area.
Speaking of that, who would y'all say would be y'all's inspiration, like biggest influences / inspiration, like for the music that you would want to create or try?
He listens to different music in the band. Like Alex likes like Sticky Fingers. Brett likes Primus a lot. Eli likes a lot of metal and stuff. I write the music, and I started writing music because my childhood was kind of fucked up, and it just helped me kind of stay sane and shit. And it still is like that, I don't know. But basically, I like Nirvana, Sublime, and I like some hip hop like Tupac Shakur. I liked a lot, and I liked Atmosphere, the rapper. I'm trying to think. Like, I liked all sorts of shit. I like shit from the South, like Leonard Skinner, the other kind of songs they had, like, but primarily shit like David Bowie, kind of weird shit,
We definitely all like have mad respect for Nirvana and Sublime.
Those are kind of the
Those are
key.
That was one of my next questions. I was gonna ask because there's
People compare us to Weezer a lot, but I didn't really listen to too much Weezer. I like them to a degree, but
It's more like 90s music, I think.
we're
It's
literally
like there's
like
a lot of 90s
style music.
all that stuff, like like Sublime, like Nirvana, Soundgarden, Weezer, and then like all the pop punk. I mean, it's just like that Blink 182, like all those things, and then obviously all the classics: AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix.
Rolling Stones.
I feel like we all really got around. Like we've all really come around the '90s stuff. Is like as a band where we all got on the same page. We all like shit from different genres and stuff like that. But I think we really gathered around as a band around the '90s stuff.
Yeah, in the '90s weird because you know how the '60s you had like that movement of like hippies and all that, and it kind of peaked, right? But the '90s really it went halfway, and then now it's like kind of purging out the remaining half of like what the '90s should have been is kind of pouring, in my opinion, into today's society, and you hear it in like rap music, and you hear it in and a lot of rappers are turning into like more songwriters, and I really, me personally, I see a huge resurgence of like more song, like actual songs, not like the AI shit. People get tired of the AI because like that what's it called, auto tune shit. It just has been around so long that I think people are like thirsting for authenticity and shit, like real actual human, this is how I feel. And that was like what the '90s were about, and it was like writing a song about how you feel, and that shit is kind of like I see it like pouring out when I'm doing like promotional work online, and I see like articles and like Doja Cat's doing like a punk rock album, and Post Malone like doesn't even do rap anymore, like doing country, and you get what I'm saying. It's like they're
funny.
kind of
That's pretty funny to hear.
Yeah, it kind of answered my next question because there was I believe it's I don't know, I believe it's a song that kind of made me think of a song.
Yeah, I just don't know. I bet you're talking about, sounds like
that one.
Yeah, song, and it was kind of about like
what was the question?
It was the next question basically was kind of like how Quinn said like your inspirations. The next one was basically was there any Nirvana or like Kurt Cobain like influence into a song? Because the I think I believe I don't know song.
Just don't know.
Yeah. It just kind of reminds me of like a Nirvana song, kind of sort of.
Yeah, no, that song was kind of like we would play it in studios and shit, and our like director would go like, dude, what the fuck is that song? Like that song's hella sick. And we had like promoters and shit, and he would message me. He's like, dude, do more songs like Just Don't Know. So we've been recording actually with the producer of Nirvana's first album. His name's Jack Endino.
Okay.
And he's done shit with Soundgarden, Sonic Youth, Mudhoney, all those grunge bands. He did Pearl Jam's first album, and we recorded a song with him. And Kurt Cobain's a huge influence. We used to crash outside of Kurt Cobain's house when we would be playing in Washington, and just kind of trip out and catch a vibe. And Kurt's uncle one time let me in the house he grew up in. It was for sale. He just walked me around. It was so sick. And to this day, that's like one of my favorite days, was like seeing Kurt's room with like holes punched in the wall and shit written on the wall. Like, I love Kurt Cobain. He's like, to me, like the epitome of like an American Beatle.
There's a photo on Instagram that you can see of Petty in his room. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, our TikTok too is it's not funny, it's sick as fuck.
It's sick as fuck. Well, that's what I mean. It's just like crazy. You're like, oh,
yeah.
So speaking of Kurt Cobain, my girlfriend is a huge Kurt Cobain fan, and she always saying fuck Courtney Love, this, that, and the fourth.
Yeah. Oh, bro, it's for days of like
how long do you have?
Yeah. Well, basically, like just like me and Brett met one of the first drummers in Nirvana. His name was Dave Foster. And he was like in the Nirvana when they got signed to Sub Pop and kind of started leveling up. And then they got another drummer. But basically, he told us crazy stories. He thought like Courtney Love killed him. And then Courtney Love's dad, one time I was talking to him, he's from the Bay Area. And he was like, has a book about it. But To be honest, bro, I think what happened, if you're honestly asking, is like, I think Kurt was troubled. They were both doing drugs. Courtney was super superficial and focused on her own thing, and like just the worst partner ever for an addict to have who's famous. And I think like the neglect aspect is kind of like why people have that bad cast of like why they think that she killed him. Because basically she was just like neglectful, and then he led to his demise of killing. He needed someone around that was positive, and she was the opposite. I don't necessarily kind of think that she killed him, but I think that she has a lot of guilt about like not being there when he died, so that's why she doesn't talk about it. There's a lot of weird happenstance shit related, like there was no prints on the gun, but Washington's hella weird, and there's like a lot of dew and shit that could have like wiped prints off a gun. There's a lot of like weird things though. I'm not gonna lie that like I wouldn't be fully surprised if one day it's like Courtney Love charged at killing Kurt Cobain. Like that wouldn't be the most like shocking thing to me. So I don't know. It's a weird situation, isn't it? Like it's a lot of people think it. My girlfriend thinks it too, actually.
So, with y'all's past tour, what was y'all's favorite place to play in?
Let's go around in a circle. Eli, what was your favorite?
Mine was Virginia Beach. That was a really fun night for us. Absolutely.
It was wild, bro. It's like that. Speaking of like Nirvana and Sublime, that shit felt like a real show like that. Like they brought it, dude. It was fucking insane. It felt like a Nirvana show or something. It was insane. Virginia Beach too.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was like the best show on the tour. It was just, but also Austin.
I was gonna say
Austin was dope. Austin, Texas.
6th Street, obviously.
That was like, there was so many people out. Like the venue we played was really cool too. But then also walking around afterwards.
Yeah.
Like Austin on a Saturday night or whatever, there was like, dude, it was like there was like people. Like more people than in New Orleans, it seemed like.
It was a shit show.
And like there was like cops on horses and shit, and it was pretty cool.
Really? I've only seen that really in New Orleans. That's crazy. They'll walk into the bars.
Yeah, gotta go to 6th Street. That shit is insane.
Yeah, the cops on the horses, they literally like cleared the streets at like 3 a.m. or so. They like cleared it because there was like thousands of people.
Or like 1,000.
It was
Yeah, even in New Orleans, they'll kind of clear out after like 2-ish, 2:30. That's a lot of people. Holy
no,
it was wild. We weren't expecting that, or I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither. My favorite was Stewart in Florida.
Yeah,
that place was cool too.
That place was really cool, man. They had this like outdoor steer. Yeah. They had like, okay, it was this outdoor venue. I knew it was gonna be sick because the promoter was fucking amped. He's like, I've been blowing this up for like 2 months. Terra Firmata, that's it.
Yeah.
And cool. It was and then they gave us like this green room that was like this little like nook like up above the stage, so you could watch the show, and like there's like couches and chill area and like
snacks
and like a shower. You know, so like the crowd was lit. There's a lot of people there. They had a light show too, guy that was running it. So it was like, it was a total vibe. It was hot out, you know, it was nice and warm. Everyone was, you know, it felt like summer vibes, even though it was like winter.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a lot of good shows.
Okay, so two quick questions before we wrap up.
Yeah.
When is y'all's next tour, and who are the Happies?
Next tour.
Everyone goes through the next tour that we're gonna have is this summer, and it's gonna take place between July and August, and we're gonna be announcing that within the next month.
Okay.
Should we know who we're playing with?
No, but you guys can look out for that announcement. Cool. Yeah, it's someone cool, and it's we'll be announcing it within the next month. And then in regards to who are the Happies, I think everyone just go around and say a sentence. I'd say that the Happies are a band that you know, we try to make the best out of like what we have, and like it's this whole concept of no one's actually happy, but everyone's striving for happiness, and so we're just like pushing along that message. That's what it is to me.
Yeah, I would say a similar thing. Yeah, try and be happy, but it doesn't always work out. But just keep going and just keep making it happen. And yeah.
Yeah, I used to say that when people ask, like, why is it the happiest? It's because, like, things aren't always happy, but we're striving to be. And the logo really kind of encompasses that with, like, it's like a smiley face, like, with one tear kind of like going through some shit, but smiling with a peace sign, like, trying to. But yeah, to me, we're just another kind of, we're a band from Northern California, another American rock band that to me just going ham day by day, little by little, brick by brick.
Yeah. And I would say like the happies to me are whether you're happy or not, come out to the show and you're not gonna regret it. It doesn't matter what.
Join the experience shit. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're into like whatever kind of music, like you're gonna enjoy it because it's a good time.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And there'll probably be some bitches there. And if you're a dude, or if they're a girl, they'll probably do some like hot dudes for you there, dude. They come out.
Hell
Bring
yeah.
some bitches.
All right. I know y'all got a busy schedule, so I'm gonna let y'all get on to it. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet from across the country, dude. That's awesome.
And just to say real quick, I remember because we were driving and you like wrote on just like a white piece of paper. You wrote your Instagram or your Spotify or something, and you put it up. And yeah, dude, that was me driving. That was hella funny. Thanks for doing that.
So everybody check out their podcast and check out the Happies, HAPPYS, Spotify and YouTube, and share that shit out to your friends and stay happy out here, man.
Thank y'all. I hope we can have y'all again someday.
Appreciate you all.
Appreciate you all for your
Y'all have a
time.
good one.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Of
Thanks,
course.
you guys.
See y'all later.